Okay, I've made this go live on YouTube, and let's get started. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing, but should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You'll receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Lastly, I need everyone to raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's start on the lady side with Miss Megan Chambers.
Can I take a seat, Ms. Chambers? Come forward. David, you're next.
Miss Chambers, ma'am, you're being charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act and one count of obstructing an officer. I'm denying bond on the felony drug charge right now. You have a warrant for your arrest out of the Henry County Sheriff's Office that was issued on March 7th of this year for carrying a prohibited weapon. You're going to have a $2,000 bond set on the obstruction of a law enforcement charge. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. That will most likely be by Zoom. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for June 3rd. Would you lower the volume a little bit on the computer? I'm getting some feedback.
Yes, Sean.
So, ma'am, I see that you refused to fill out the form for the appointment of a lawyer. Are you going to hire your own lawyer or are you going to represent yourself?
I do have a lawyer. He just couldn't make it today. He said there's no need for him to be here for the bond hearing.
Okay. What's the lawyer's name?
Christopher Harris.
Okay. Well, tell Mr. Harris of first of the warrant if he doesn't know about the warrant out of Henry County and of your court dates. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
What was the date again?
June 1st for the preliminary hearing.
Prelim, and that's for this county?
Yes, ma'am. And June 3rd for a bond hearing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're free to go back, ma'am.
Davis,
Miss Cassandra Davis.
Dunn, you're next. You go back.
Miss Davis, ma'am, you've been charged with a number of driving-related offenses and 2 drug-related offenses. The first charge is driving a vehicle with no insurance. Bond is going to be set at $1,000 for that offense. The second charge is driving a vehicle with an expired or invalid tag. Bond is going to be set at $500. The third charge is driving a vehicle with a cracked windshield. Bond is going to be also set at $500. The third or fourth charge is using or concealing the identity of a tag. Bond is going to be set at $500. Obstructing or hindering the display of a license plate. Bond is going to be set at $500. Misdemeanor possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And felony possession of THC oil. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. That's going to be by Zoom. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, ma'am.
Dunn,
Rashida Dunn.
Hargrove, you're next.
Okay. Miss Dunn, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, a stay away from a Marquise Rogers. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Miss Hargrove.
Harris, you're next.
Ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of battery, family violence. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, a stay away from a Gregory Gardner. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yes.
I'll let you ask whatever question you want at the end, okay? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning. Courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. It says that you refuse to fill the form out. Are you going to hire your own lawyer?
No.
Are you going to
No,
represent yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Now, you were about to say something, and I cut you off. What were you going to tell me?
With the bond thing, I don't have any family here. I have a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old at home. It's going to be hard for me to go out of here.
Okay. I mean, okay. And I generally try not to get into the facts of the case, just the allegations. But didn't that occur to you before?
The only person I got to bond me out is Gregory, and you just told me to stay away from me. I don't know anyone here, and no, I did not think about it.
Okay, well, ma'am, I mean, actions have consequences. Okay. All right, you're free to go back, ma'am.
So the bond is 5,000,
Yes, ma'am.
and how much I pay on that?
You can go through a bonding company and they generally charge a percentage. I tell people I don't work for the bonding company, so I can't tell you what they will charge you, but it's generally anywhere from 10 to 12% of the bond.
And the date of the court is
It's May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail.
okay. All right.
All right. Okay, you're free to go back. Katrina Harris.
Laura, you're next.
Ms. Harris, ma'am, you're charged with one count of driving under the influence of alcohol to the extent it made you a less safe driver. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're charged with one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. That's a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. You're charged with one count of impeding traffic. Bond is set at $500, and one count of violation of Georgia's seatbelt law. Bond is going to be set at $500. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
You said it's May 31st at 8:30 a.m.
Yes, ma'am. But that date will get waived upon your bonding out and your charges will get transferred to state court.
Okay.
Any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Roxana Laura.
LeMay, you're next.
Miss Laura, ma'am, you're charged with one count of impeding traffic. Bond is going to be set at $500, and one count of driving under the influence of alcohol to the extent that it made you a less safe driver. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
LeMay? Oh, it's you, I'm sorry.
I have Lindsay Smith as the next person.
That's my area.
Miss Lindsay Smith, ma'am, you're charged with driving under the influence of alcohol to the extent that it made you a less safe driver. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that offense. One count of an open container violation. Bond is going to be set at $500, and one count of driving a vehicle on an expired or invalid tag. Bond is going to also be set at $500. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Just so I'm clear, my total bond will be the total amount of this, and if I go through a bonds person, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Now, there are fees that are added The sheriff's department is required to add fees to the bond, so it'll be a little bit higher than this 6,000. But they have the fee schedule and I don't. So that's why I can't give you what the added fees will be.
Okay,
All right.
okay,
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
thank you.
Ms. Mason?
Keith, you're next.
Ms. Mason, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol to the extent it made you a less safe driver. Your bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No questions.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Ms. Tennille Morrell.
Janine Morrell. What's the name, Ron?
Murrell.
I believe that's a male, Your Honor.
Oh, Jesus, it is. Thank you. Miss
I have
Peak.
yes, sir. She's right here. Ben, you're next.
Ms. Peak, ma'am, you're charged with a number of offenses. A red light violation, bond is going to be set at $500. 2 felony violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act charges. Bond is going to be set at $10,000 apiece for those. 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. 1 count of possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. 1 count of looks like possession. Sorry, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Count of manufacture of or distribution of a controlled substance. Bond is set at $10,000. 1 count of possession of a Schedule I controlled substance. Bond is set at $10,000. And 1 count of use or possession of drug-related objects. Bond is set at $1,500. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out. And you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, but what happens if I get another lawyer?
Just notify the lawyer that has been appointed to you that you have hired a lawyer so that lawyer can withdraw from your case.
Okay.
All right. So do you want me to see if you qualify?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify. Going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me?
No.
Okay, ma'am. You're free to go back.
Judge,
Yes.
before you give me the last numbers and the amounts again, because this is not an order.
Okay. So 7-6 bond is set at $500.
Okay,
7-7 bond is set at $10,000.
okay,
7-8 bond is set at $10,000. 7-9 bond is set at $1,500. 8-0 bond is set at $10,000. 8-1 bond is set at $10,000. 8-2 bond is set at $10,000. And finally, 8-3 bond is set at $1,500.
thank you very much. Sorry about that.
No problem. Miss, is it Van Marisa?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. This is a misdemeanor. Fine is going to be set at $3,000. You're also charged with 1 count of battery. This is also a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Kelly Allen and Alexis Murphy. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Okay, let's switch over to the mail side. Give me 1 second, Mr. Acosta. Okay, Mr. Acosta.
Yes,
Sir, you're charged with 1 count of false imprisonment and 1 count of family violence battery. False imprisonment was listed as a misdemeanor, but it's a felony offense. So bond is going to be set at $5,000 on the false imprisonment and $5,000 on the family violence battery. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Erica De La Torre. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do qualify, Mr. Acosta. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
So you said both were 5,000
Yes, sir.
on, okay. That's it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Adams. And Miss Mary, I don't know if this is reflected on your calendar, but on my bond sheet, there is a charge that was left off, so I wrote it in. It's the failure to maintain lane, and the final 2 digits are 85. So Mr. Adams, that's a misdemeanor offense, and I'm setting the bond at $500 on the failure to maintain lane. 86 is leaving the scene of an accident. I'm setting the bond at $1,500. And then 87 is a DUI less safe. I'm setting the bond at $5,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, Mr. Adams, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Banks. Mr. Banks, sir, you're charged with 2 offenses, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and you are also charged with possession of firearm during the commission of a felony. Now, possession of marijuana is a misdemeanor, so you're getting the bond set at $1,500 on the possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and I'm dismissing the possession of a weapon during the commission of a felony. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right.
Mr. Chambers. Good morning, Mr. Chambers. You're charged with one count of criminal trespass, basically being in a vacant house. I'm setting the bond at $1,500 for that. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, how much do you earn per hour?
Probably about like 15.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
There's no way to dismiss that so I can go home today?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Stay out of people's homes and you won't have to come to jail.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
All right, you're free to go back. Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper, sir, you're charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, simple possession of cocaine. I'm setting a bond at $3,000 for that. You're charged with one count of theft of lost or mislaid property. I'm setting the bond, or the bond has been preset at $2,000. And you're charged with crossing the roadway at other than a crosswalk, which is commonly known as jaywalking. Bond is going to be set at $500 for that. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Now, are you currently employed, Mr. Cooper?
No, sir.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? I'm sorry, did you say no?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Finney?
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing well. Mr. Finney, you're charged with one count of criminal damage to property in the second degree. This is a felony offense. I'm denying the bond at this stage because of your extensive criminal history. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, a stay away from a Kayana offer. Do you understand that?
Sir, may I have permission to come back last to speak with you? That's what I was gonna ask before we started giving me the information. And I got permission from the officer. He said I just need to speak with you first.
Sure.
Thank you.
Let's hold on to Mr. Finney and we'll bring it back. But Mr. Finney, you're not going to change my mind. So if that's what you're trying to get me to do, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not changing my mind.
No, I totally understand, sir.
Okay, Mr. Gooden. Mr. Gooden, sir, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 for this offense. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, a stay away from a Maya Newman. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Gooden. Mr. Grayer.
Your Honor, I'm asking for a continuation with Mr. Grayer. He was, I don't know if Deputy Bush emailed you about him, so he would need to be continued for tomorrow.
Okay. If
He needs to be what?
I'm gonna do a continuance for him to be brought back tomorrow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Give me 1 second. I just need to make a note. Okay, Mr. Hill has been sent back. He was on yesterday's calendar. Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, sir, you're charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. You're also charged with contributing to the delinquency or deprivation of minors. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Ain't that like a public defender?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I filled the paper out already. But
Yes,
I was trying to see, you said the bond is what?
Okay, it's going to be a total bond of $3,500.
All right.
You do qualify. I'm appointing a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me?
What's the second charge you said?
Contributing to the delinquency or deprivation of minors.
I had got one more question. I was trying to see, could I do a signature bond?
No, sir.
All right.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right.
Mr. Kemp. Mr. Kemp, sir, you're charged with 1 count of family violence battery.
Oh, my bad.
Are you with me, Mr. Kemp?
Oh, yes, I just had to get the pen back.
Okay. You're charged with 1 count of family violence battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, to stay away from a Tierra Bess. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, about the Tierra Stairway, we have 5 kids together. So how we gonna get
Sir,
past?
I don't know. I don't know. So you're aware of the allegation, right?
Yeah, I do. Not really though, but you know, it was an
Well,
argument.
it says that you punched her in the face during an argument, and they saw that there was a bruise on her left eye. So if you care about your 5 children, y'all need to, figure out something else to do when you have a disagreement. Play poker, do something other than get into a verbal altercation that may lead to someone placing their hands on someone else. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that didn't happen, but yeah.
And you are presumed innocent, and that's why we're appointing lawyers.
Okay.
The allegation is that you punched her. I don't know what happened, but I can't just send you back into the home with the allegation that you punched her in the face.
Okay, so I gotta resolve that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. LeMay.
How you doing, Your Honor?
How are you doing? Mr. LeMay, you're charged with 1 count of simple assault. That's a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $4,000. You're charged with also possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from an Anita Cook. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. As far as that, she's in my home. My name is on the lease, her name is not. She asked for a set amount of days, and actually that night, that's what happened. I was telling her that those set amount of days that she asked.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you speak, Mr. LeMay, but let me get out the information I gotta convey to you, okay?
Okay,
So your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll receive a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, Mr. LeMay. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, I cut you off. Please don't discuss the facts of your case, but tell me what it is that you wanted to tell me.
She's in my resident. As I said, she had asked for a set amount of days, and those days were up. So as far as me staying away from her, is it possible that she has to be out of my home?
No, see, and that's the thing, unfortunately, that people don't understand when they bring people into their home, commonly called shacking up. Because once you let somebody into your home, that person establishes residence there, you got to go through the eviction process of getting that person out. You just can't kick them out, even though it's your home and you're paying the bills. You allowed that condition to exist. So you got to then do the right thing to unwind that and unpack that. So in the future, don't let anybody live with you unless you're married to them. Okay?
Yeah, what was that bond? 10.
Total bond is 14,000.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm not unsympathetic to what you're saying, Mr. LeMay, but picture the reverse. You move in with her and there's an allegation that she beat on you, and then she goes to jail, and then the police come knocking on the door telling you to pack your stuff and leave. You would say, that's not fair. I'm getting kicked out because she hit me. Does that make sense to you? I know you don't have to agree with it.
In part, but not related to my situation.
Okay.
But I understand. Thank you, sir.
Yes, speak to your lawyer, and I'm certain your lawyer will be able to help you navigate these waters.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Mr. Morrell. Mr. Morrell, sir, you're charged with one count of contributing to the delinquency or deprivation of a minor. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're also charged with 2 felony offenses. One is theft by receiving stolen property, and the other is possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. So it's showing that you're either on probation or parole, so I cannot set bond on these offenses pursuant to Georgia statute 17-10-1. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for June 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
If I'm able to get my own lawyer, I could just fire the one that y'all called and put me.
Yes, you can hire your own lawyer. And your lawyer may be able to get with the district attorney's office based upon your circumstances, and they may agree to a bond before that date. But
and also, sir, how do I get my police report or evidence about my case?
Through the arresting agency. It looks like it's Clayton County Police Department. So you should contact the Records Division, Clayton County Police Department.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Mr. Turnipseed. Mr. Turnipseed, sir, you're charged with one count of family violence battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're also charged with one count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, and stay away from a Pamela Sharon Turnipseed. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
About how much do you make per hour?
29.
Okay. That's on the edge, but I'm going to find that you qualify. Going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
The date again?
May 31st at 8:30 in the morning. But that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Watkins. Good afternoon, sir. You're charged with one count of obstructing an officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're also charged with one count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date. Hold on, sir. I'll let you speak at the end, okay?
No, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 31st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Looks like you refuse to fill out the form. So is it your intent to hire your own lawyer or represent yourself?
No, sir, I need a court lawyer, sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Hold on, Mr. Watkins, please. Are you currently working?
No, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions for me?
No, sir, that'll be it, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Finney. Hold on one second, Mr. Finney.
Okay. Oh. It says the internet connection is unstable.
Okay, Mr. Finney, just so I make certain that I tell you what I'm supposed to tell you. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. And you're going to have a bond hearing date set for June 3rd at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. And would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, what is it that you wanted to tell me, Mr. Finney?
For the third, what is that? Is that like a higher court that's gonna appoint me bond? Like, what is the reason for the third? Like, what is the difference?
So preliminary hearings are held on one day and bond hearings are held on another day.
Right, but the bond court date that you set for the third, what kind of bond hearing is that? In reference to different from today, what kind of different bond is it?
So today is a first appearance hearing, and it's called an initial appearance hearing. Can be called a committal hearing, but the purpose of this hearing is to, as soon as possible, get those who are eligible bonds and lawyers, and then set court dates. That's all we do here today.
Okay. And what I wanted to speak to you about, sir, was I actually was gonna ask to make sure that I got a bond in reference to me having to get out and like, I just have things that I need to pay for. I'm independent. I came here about a year or so ago when I first tried to relocate to Georgia. And I got extradited, but I remember I spoke with you and I said, I'm gonna be back. I just had a child. We're about to have a child. The child is here now. I'm happy. We're happy about the child. The child's here. I've been taking care of the child. I came back as I like I spoke to you about and said that I would be back. Now I'm actually a resident of Atlanta. Like I actually have a Georgia ID. I just went from temporary to permanent, was supposed to start my first day permanent for the company that I work for, Fernard, off of Hallowell Parkway. This has been since I've been back, since I spoke with you the last time, and I wasn't under any criminal charges at that time. I was being extradited for being here, and I got extradited there, released, came back. I'm legally here now, working and provide for my family. And I totally understand that okay, I'm here regardless. I could have did things to prevent from being in front of you today, and I take full responsibility for that. But my family can't afford for me to not be able to get a bond today, and my employment opportunity, and I believe that I show stability and I show accountability, and I show, and it's validated from you directly that I am a man of my word.
Okay, so Mr. Finney, you were convicted on July 25th of 2019 in South Carolina of threatening the life of a public employee, correct?
Actually, we might have some mix-ups. I don't ever even remember ever having that must be mixed up with me. Because I'm on probation. I was extradited back to South Carolina for things that had to do with my family, a family case. It had nothing to do with me threatening public officials or public employees or anything like that.
Okay, let me finish. All right. So you have 23 cycles out of South Carolina, which is 23 encounters with law enforcement. This is the 22nd cycle, the one of a conviction for threatening the life of a public employee. And it says that your palm prints were taken, meaning that they were matching you, not just name, but matching you up through fingerprint system. The allegation from yesterday is that you damaged Miss Alford's door during an argument that, let's see, within the argument within the child, that you then punched an LG TV valued at $200, which caused it to be damaged. Says that she attempted to separate herself from you by leaving the residence, which led to you jumping on the victim's hood, a 2013 Hyundai Tucson, while the victim was traveling up Dorsey Road, Flint River Road. The offender began kicking the windshield with his foot in hand, refusing to get off. The victim was able to make it to Quick Trip on 8805 Tara Boulevard in attempts to locate help. Says the officer observed the offender, meaning you, to have minor glass cuts on your right forearm from striking the windshield. This incident was witnessed by an unbiased witness who completed a written statement form. The offender and victim previously resided together and shared one child together. That's why your bond is being denied. Okay?
Oh, in reference to these marks on my forearm have been there for years. These are permanent marks.
Okay. I'm just telling you what was sworn to in this warrant, and that there's a witness that wrote a witness statement form saying that they observed what she said happened.
And I totally understand that, and I'm glad that you gave me that information, because right now in here with an officer, if he looks at all of these cuts that are on my forearm, they're not.
Mr. Finney, I am not going to waste time, sir. I told you I'm not going to change my mind.
It proves reasonable doubt to your comment.
Mr. Finney, I told you I wasn't going to change my mind. Did I not tell you that?
These are new cuts.
Listen to the judge. Listen.
Did I tell you I was not going to change my mind? And if that's what you're trying to speak to me about, that's not going to happen. But it appears that that's what you're speaking to me about changing my mind.
No, I didn't understand that I never heard the information that you just gave me. So me being who I am, and I'm not trying to be offensive to the courts or anything, when I hear information about this being used to convict me for you to make your decision, the information you're using to make your decision right now can be proved that it is not truth by my physical self. My physical self is not even what they said.
Let me ask you this. Were you not charged February 24th, 2018 with criminal domestic violence, attempted murder, neglect by legal custodian in South Carolina?
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay. So as a judge, my job is to protect the public. And from what I'm seeing, not saying that you did any of this, but what I'm seeing is that you are potentially a threat to public safety. And it says that you were supposed to take mental health treatment. Did you get your mental health treatment?
Yes, sir. I'm involved in all of that since I've been in Atlanta in reference to like everything I'm supposed to do for my legalities from since the last time you saw me when I was being extradited back to South Carolina. I have done to be able to be here to have the employment opportunity I have as well. Like I've been doing everything in reference to like to not be viewed as some threat to society that shouldn't be able to like to work. And on top of that, the information you gave me is the only reason I spoke up is because it said by the marks on my forearm is why they said that I had done something. The marks on my forearm
and the person who is unbiased that witnessed everything and wrote a statement. So
they said about my forearm.
You keep forgetting about that. The witness statement was not talking about your forearm. The witness statement was supposedly talking about you on top of the car. So that has nothing to do with your forearm.
Right. It has nothing to do with my forearm, but it shows.
Mr. Finney, you are free to go back, sir. Your bond is going to be denied. You have your court dates.
That's all I want to know is why I was being denied. I apologize if I offended you, Your Honor.
No, it's you got to understand, I've given you the information that you need to go to the next step, which is to talk to your lawyer and say, this is what they said I did. I didn't do it, blah, 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 blah. But I'm telling you, if you were on a hood at a Quick Trip, they got videos 9 ways to Sunday of you being on that hood. So it behooves you to speak to your lawyer first before you start saying what you did or did not do.
Honestly, Your Honor, videos of somebody hanging onto a car that has injuries doesn't mean that they're an aggressor. It actually visually looks as if maybe they got hit by a car and were holding on for dear life.
I understand. You're free to go back, Mr. Finney.
Thank you.
Okay.